Today we're driving the 2015.5 Volvo S60 T6 with Drive E technology. What's Drive E? Well, they've taken a motor and they've not only supercharged it, they've also turbocharged it. That's right, it's a super turbocharged engine, all together at once.
That makes the power plant in the S60 T6 as fun as it is economical. Even with 24 miles to the gallon city, 35 on the highway, this 2-liter 4-cylinder is capable of pumping out up to 302 horsepower. Inside the S60 is a cabin befitting a premium sedan. Beautifully sculpted seats and tasteful touches of metal throughout. The back seat has more than enough room to fit an adult comfortably, and plenty of room for luggage in the trunk.
The looks are conservative. They're typical Volvo conservatism. Since Geely has taken over Volvo, there was some concern that this car wouldn't be as premium as it's been in the past. But honestly, after driving this S60, those fears are easily dissuaded. This is an excellent sedan that has some very fine premium features, especially the electronics. Let's take a look.
Volvo now offers an app for iPhone, Android, and Windows Phone devices called Volvo On Call. This puts you in complete control of your car through your mobile device. Get current stats, review warnings. You can even lock and unlock your car remotely. Need a remote start on a cold day? Yes, you can do that too.
Now, looking at the interior here, this is traditional Volvo. Very simple Scandinavian design. Honestly, it looks like something that could have come out of a higher-end IKEA catalog. And that's not a bad thing. So let's look at this steering wheel. Beautiful leather, plastics, okay. It has metallic paddle shifters, because this is the sport model. Yes, in spite of what the exterior looks like, this is actually a sport model. The dash has this really nice organic shape to it. This particular car comes equipped with the Harman Kardon sound system. And then you have this center cluster that is just gorgeous. It's metallic. It has this really nice brushed finish. And then the central feature being this number pad, which is multifunction. When you're in the web browser, which, yes, this car has a web browser, you can type in the information, the web address that you want to go to, for example. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see how she drives. So the central gauges in this car are all digital, and they do it in this really gorgeous way. It's not square like so many other manufacturers, but it has this lovely circle in the middle with extra gauges on the side. It does a great job of compacting so much information into a very small yet easy to read space. That is, I think, one of the best looking gauges I have ever seen in a car. And the neat thing is, like, let's just put it into neutral here and we'll rev it. The needle moves so smoothly and so naturally. It doesn't feel like it's a digital display when it's functioning. Hit the little button on the side there. We go into, we can change contrast modes or color mode. We can then go to themes, and there's 3 themes. The one I'm in right now is Performance, which is my preferred one. There's also Eco, which puts an Eco Guide gauge on the left and changes it to much more green and pleasing look. And then there's also Elegance, which is more like a traditional gauge cluster in that it's basically white with red accents. On the left is a temperature gauge, on the right is RPM. Overall, I'm just enamored with this gauge cluster, but I'm going to go back to my preferred one of Performance. Awesome. Oh, and neat thing, this is really cool. When you change your theme, it also changes the color of the central screen. These two are tied together. Such a nice, consistent, coherent look. The transmission in this car is an 8-speed automatic. It is not a CVT. That gives a little bit better direct feel over the CVT. Not quite as good of a direct feel as, say, Audi's DSG system. So as equipped, this particular Volvo runs $46,425. Now, when you get an S60 in the base model, you're looking at only $39,000. So what options does this car have? Well, it has the optional Platinum package. That includes the Harman Kardon stereo system, the navigation, and a bunch of other really cool features. One thing that this car also has as an option is the blind spot identification system. I really like the way that Volvo puts the indicators on the inside of the cabin. It makes it a lot more obvious that they're illuminating as opposed to when they're outside the vehicle like some other manufacturers do it. This car also has the optional 19-inch diamond cut wheel design, which is really good looking. So let's go ahead and see how she drives. I'm gonna go and put her into drive and throttle. Whoa, those front wheels are grabbing. Oh yeah, like no torque steer. It is so rare for a car with 300 plus horsepower to have practically nil torque steer, and that is wonderful. Now, one thing that really separates the men from the boys in the performance sedan category is the suspension. And in this car, it is just phenomenal. It soaks up the little bumps and bruises, but manages to have a really solid stance on the road. Going through corners on this twisty country road, it drives like a sled in a very good way, and I'm loving it. Okay, so now we are on the freeway, and this car has yet another feature we want to explore, and that is lane detection. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my hands off the wheel. It's steering for me! Proof once again that we actually do live in the future. You can say, well, $46,000, that's a lot of money. Well, yeah, but so is a BMW or an Audi, and that's the classic car that this Volvo is aiming to target, and it does a remarkable job, and I think it hits the target perfectly. I'm Ryan Douthit for AutoNation TV. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.